This is Pastor Tim coming to you from Central Texas, from Bend and Lomita United Methodist Churches, trying to build a foundation of the Bible, help people have an entryway into the Scripture so that they can discover a deeper meaning. Today we want to talk about the widow's mite. When Jesus was sitting in the temple, there was people coming and going. They had big jars for the offering. They didn't pass the plate like we do today. They had big jars that rich people could come and drop coins in and make a lot of money, make a lot of noise. That way they'd get a lot of attention. They'd dump a whole bunch of money into the pot, and people would admire them for what they donated. But in this case, Jesus was paying attention to something else. He wasn't paying attention to the rich. He was paying attention to the widow. She didn't have much. When you were a widow in the biblical times, you couldn't own any property and you couldn't work. The best suggestion was that you find another husband. The biblical solution to that was that you marry your husband's brother. Which means that you better be careful about who you marry. Better look at their brother before you say I do, because you might want to say I don't. But the widow had no source of income. She was poor, and she comes by the offering plate and offering box or probably a jar, and she has 2 pennies to her name. Now, a penny is a tiny little thing that was haphazardly made. They dripped pieces of iron on a flat surface and then just stamped them. So it could be any kind of indication that it was some kind of money, but very poorly made, not important in the great turn of society, but that's all she had. And so she puts that in because she wants to honor God. Now, as a pastor, the first thing I'd do is say, no, you keep that money for yourself. You need that more than the temple needed it or the church needed it. But she wanted to give it. She wanted to give honor to God, and she wanted to put her trust in God. When she put in all that she has, she's saying, I trust that God's going to take care of me. I trust that God's going to provide somehow, whether it's through other people or through some kind of surprise, a gift. But she said, I'm going to trust God. And those 2 little coins wouldn't make much noise at all, but they made a big noise to Jesus because she gave all that she had. The others were given a portion of what they had, and they had plenty left over to take care of themselves. They were still depending on money more than they were of God. But she says, I'm absolutely going to depend upon God. And that's what Jesus said was the essence of discipleship, to depend upon God and to give everything you got. And that's the only way to prosper in God's economy. It looks like a very little offering. It didn't make much difference to the temple, but it made a lot of difference to Jesus. I hope that is helpful, and I'll see you next time.